Hello crafters! This is Suzanne from A Creative Muse, and I'm here with the card share for the Merry Moments Mega Card Making Kit. This is the big kit for this year. I'll link my video here so you can see all the contents of this beautiful kit. So let's look at my fabulous cards. First up, crafters, here is card number 1. Love the colorway. I decided to go a different colorway. I was so tempted to use the red for the bow, like in the example, because I think it's really striking and pretty that way. But I wanted to have the red poinsettia. So I came in with Seaside Color Wheel cardstock, which is like a light turquoise colorway for the bow. Isn't that super pretty? So let's talk about all the goodies I used to make this A2 card. A few goodies, actually. First, I used the gifting bow dies. Here I did 2 bows. On the product packaging, they have 4, so you could do 1 here, and then 2 on the side. But I just decided to go with 2. I thought that was enough because I still wanted space to do my collage and a larger sentiment. This little space, that doesn't bother me. This is Poppy, that's Blush. In the back here, Pomegranate. And then I'm also bringing out from Essential Cardstock, Forest. I love Forest. For the dark green, so super pretty. Look at this poinsettia. You cut it twice and then you just stagger it. Here in the center, I use that in brushed silver cardstock, and I put a silver mixed gem in the center. I love the little berries. This just adds more character to it. So I put 2 poinsettias and then tucked in some berries and then the foliage and then the holly leaf. So fun. Then for the rest of it, I shot my Spellbinder stash. For the background here, I'm using one of my favorite. You guys should know this by now. I love this. If you are new to my channel, please like and subscribe. If you are a returning viewer, just like the video, please thumbs up. So this is Starshine background. Love, love, love. Here I dry embossed it on white cardstock. When I had plain cardstock in the back, it just wasn't giving me the pop. I do love the 3D embossing folder, but that would have given me too much height to build this on. By using Starshine, it still gives me a flat enough surface to have the bow level. You see what's happening? So I get texture in the back, but not so many hill and valley ridges that this then becomes this lumpy bumpy thing. Or I'd have to use a foundation die to smooth here. So that's also another benefit of the Starshine background die, is that it gives you texture, gives you interest, but it also gives you a flat surface. So that's fabulous. To dry emboss, you would use a little floppy embossing mat that's available in your standard die cut machine. For the background here and this layer, I'm using, which is now back in stock, thumbs up, Precision Layering A2 sets A and B. Love. The 2 layers you're seeing here is set A only. Largest die in set A is an A2, 4 1/4, 5 1/2 inch. The second die over is 1/4 of an inch shorter, meaning 1/8 of an inch on each side. If I went into the largest die in set B, then that would be 1/8 of an inch shorter, coming in those increments, tight increments. I did not want a tight increment here. I wanted a little bit of breathing space here between this and this, okay? And then for the sentiment, love, love, love. This is from Yana last year. Just a classic set of BetterPress sentiments you can use every year. All of them come with a coordinating die. Love that. Home for Christmas sentiments press plate and die. You can press or glimmer any of these sentiments. Here I have it glimmered on black cardstock with matte silver hot foil roll. With the black, I think it just ties in everything, and it's a great contrast between the white and that red. So that is card number 1. A lot of extra Spellbinders goodies were used to make this, but I think this makes a stellar card, and the bow is still prominent. Up next, here is another A2 card featuring the beautiful Petite Crisscross Press Plate. Remember that there are additional products that you can purchase with the Mega Card Making Kit. We just saw the die. Now we're seeing the BetterPress plate. Hello. Cross-stitch goodness. Look how pretty that is without any stitching at all. This is pressed out on porcelain cotton card with Dina Wakley's new Sapphire BetterPress ink. I'll put the pack that it's in. Remember, she released 2 packs, one that's called Happy and one that's called Diane's Fave. I'll put a link for her BetterPress inks below, and you can also get the re-inkers too. Super pretty. I'm loving this sapphire. I thought I loved Cosmic Sky, but this sapphire, it's a classic. It is so pretty. Look how beautiful that is. Love, love, love. Love so much, I'm going to take the DIY pad, the blank, bigger pad, and use a re-inker and create a full-size pad of this color. Crafters, I'm detailing and linking everything I'm talking about below, okay? So you'll see Dina Wakely's beautiful BetterPress ink in Sapphire. Love, which then really inspired the rest of this card. On this lower half of the card, I'm using Altenew Fresh Dye ink in blues, darker blue, lighter blue, and then left this part white. Look at this goodie. This is another add-on to the Mega Card Making Kit. This is the Merry Moments Dimensional Snowflakes. Here I'm using 3 snowflakes. Talk about a quick card. By putting on these larger snowflakes, that took up a lot of work on the card and it didn't leave so much white space. I also put on some Silver Mix Gems, the crystal part, and I brought on an oldie, but a goodie, Splatter White. And did splatter down here because it was looking so blue. I just wanted some splatter. Also, crafters, to cut these 2 layers, and you see this still runs pretty straight to frame out these 2 layers. Precision layering, A2, sets A and B in this card, which is different than the previous card. You see the spacing? So in this card, I'm using the largest die from set A to make the A2 card base, and then the largest die from set B for this layer. Here I just used 2 dies from set A. So that's the spacing. It just depends on what you want. You see? Have fun. Mix, match, and play in here, in between these layers. Love that. Put this in your wish list. This is a fabulous essential for all your cards. For the sentiment, I'm coming into an oldie, but definitely a goodie. This is from last year's Christmas in July. Mistletoe Greetings, Press Plate and Die. Love this set. This is glimmered on indigo cardstock with matte silver hot foil roll. Thumbs up, so super pretty. For the larger sentiments like Christmas Greetings, it's here. It cuts out with this flat edge, and then the smaller sentiments, which is here, will cut out with the flag detail. And I just put that there over to the side because I have all my pretty little snowflakes. Love the snowflakes. Very, very pretty, very easy to work with as well. If you want to ensure that it sticks, just put a dab of glue here in that center piece. If you're going to mail it, just so it doesn't move, okay? Because it is a sticker, but just a little dab of glue here, especially when it has that type of center, nobody will see. The snowflakes and the BetterPress, I think, just work very well together. If you wanted to dial up the elegance on this, then you could come into Yana's sentiments. Now you see why I love BetterPress sentiments. They can be fancy, they can be playful, but they're just so gorgeous. I love BetterPress sentiments. I also love Glimmer, but BetterPress, because she can both press or glimmer. That's the beauty. Love this. So press or glimmer, die cut once, okay? Up next, you're seeing 3 products here from this collection. These 2 are from the kit. You can purchase this by itself if you want to get an extra pack. This only is available in the kit, the wax seal. This is another A2 card, and in the back here, yes, I am using precision layering again because this pattern needs to run straight. So I just put the die on the 6x6 paper pad sheet here and then cut it out. I did tell you that I wanted to use this. I definitely did. Then right beside it, here it is so super pretty. And I just put the die on here to frame it properly. And then this piece I also cut out with another foundation die. We'll talk about it in a second. So I'm using the gifting bow here in the center. The sentiment is on the wax seal. So some of these wax seals do include sentiments, and then the rest of them are more like looser. And then you can put a sentiment or no sentiment at all. Put the sentiment on the inside. Love. So the pattern paper is called Merry Moments Paper Pad, and then these wax seal stickers are in the kit. So fun. This time I did white poinsettias because I have so much red going on. I also brought on Pink Sand Essential cardstock for the flowers. I'm using these 2 little ones, and then I put some gems in the center. That's Silver Mix Gems. This gem, that's an Altenew gem. The cardstock I'm using for here and here, I think is just from my stash. For this piece right here, which you're only seeing just the bands of it, I'm coming into a favorite of mine, Seal Twine. This is a wax seal, why not? Even though it's a sticker. And it is popped up a little high because I have all of this going on. You cut this twice and wrap it around that foundation die. Love, 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 love. Then for this center layer, which I wanted to work with this shape, I'm using Essential Hexi Gems. I came into one of the smaller ones. Largest die in here is 3 3/4 by 5.5. You get 14 dies here. So I'm coming in about maybe this one and then went to the next one over. That's why you're seeing that wider spacing. So pretty. I cut this inner layer with the pattern paper. I brought white here and white here just to break it from all that pattern, because I have pattern here and pattern here. Out here I'm using precision layering A and B for that. So you can definitely have fun with the pattern paper and still work in the dies and make a beautiful card and a sticker too. Love. All right, next, I wanted to use that beautiful frame and I thought I'll put it on a card. So here I'm playing with some of the ephemera and also pattern paper. I do have in 2 craft stacks, which are Spellbinders crafting, sorting, and storage trays, the sentiment ephemera, which is what you see here. And I just empty the pack in here. When I'm done, then I'll put it in a Ziploc baggie. And then here is the printed ephemera. This will be on my last card. Isn't that cute? Look at that little soldier. Because you get doubles in here, I use the soldier on my other card, but I still have another one left. That's where I'm getting the Santa and the special mail from. So fun. And then this pattern paper is right here. Look how pretty that is. This ornament inspired this ornament, which I think the colors work back to that frame. So the frame is what I started with and then worked my way in. Love, 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 love. For my ornament and my bow, I'm coming into my collection, the Beautiful Wreaths collection, not the new collection. That's coming in August. So come back to my channel to see that. Christmas wreath add-on. I'm using this little ornament here. Look at the color difference. Oh, so super love. So you get lots of goodies in here. I could have gone with a Christmas tree. I could have gone with my own poinsettia. I was so tempted to, but I was like, no, let me use a poinsettia in the gifting bow die set because it is there. So I just wanted to show you what it looks like, but I was tempted to use this though. But I did use my ornament because I really was inspired by the paper, and I covered up the little ornament here with the sentiment to then highlight this one. When I pulled out this bow, the tails were straight down, so it didn't have the right feel. So I came over here to this one, which is the Halloween wreath add-on. This shade of gold, that's brushed gold cardstock. Here I'm also using the new treasured cardstock for the glitter here. This is also treasured cardstock. Then from my own Halloween wreath, I use my bow here because the tails open out. You see how the tail opens out? So that gives me the space to have this little hanging piece and then the ornament. I think this is a fun card. So if you have my collection and some of my sets, work it in with this Merry Moments card making kit, especially this one. And there are different bows in all 5 of my dies. The birthday wreath will have the present. That's a style of bow on the present. So you could also bring presents in here too if you wish. But the Halloween, love this bow. I think that's just so fun. This is blush color wheel cardstock and poppy color wheel cardstock, okay? So pretty. Love that card. For my last card, I really wanted to dig deep in the pattern paper and the ephemera. The ephemera, both the sentiment ephemera and this ephemera are sold separately too. If you wanted to just get this and then work it in with what you have, maybe you don't want the pattern paper, etc., or just pick up the 6x6 paper pad. So you have options, but you can also add this to the mega card making kit and then make a ton of cards. So here I have my little nutcracker. Isn't he cute? So super cute. I also took the stars, which is in here. I was tempted to use this one, which could go there too, and then clip the edge off. I was matching it back to the pattern paper, so we're back to the 6x6 paper pad. This is also in here. So super pretty, the little bit of holly. I just love this. I was playing with 2 pattern paper here, and I always save my scraps because you never know. Maybe you just want to do just a little piece like this and then have something happening out here. Anything. Just have fun with it. I love the little stars and then that ephemera and him right there. So that's from the Merry Moments paper pad. To cut my layers for this card, I have white in the back, precision layering. Here I'm going from set A, B, and then back to A. So I'm going between them from the largest working in. So here I have a little strip of red, and then that's the green. So you can see with these thinner layers, what you're really getting is 1/8 of an inch, which is really 1/16 of an inch all the way around. That's why you're seeing just a peak of red. The red I brought back to come back to him. And then for the sentiment, here is Yana's glimmer set. I think this is now 2 years old, but I still love this set. I have it glimmered so many different ways. This set released before BetterPress. But if BetterPress was out, oh, I think Yana would have definitely turned this into a BetterPress set, which I would have been so much there for, because then I could press and glimmer. But this is all glimmer. This is red cardstock with opaque white hot foil roll. I think this little sentiment, I love the season's greetings right here. It's just says a lot, but still small enough. And then she has larger sentiments. Happy holidays, Christmas blessings, may your days be merry and bright, and have yourself a merry little Christmas. It is called a Merry Little Christmas Sentiments hot foil plate. This goes on sale from time to time. Put this one in your wish list if you don't own it already. And if you only have glimmer, this is a goodie for a lot of holiday cards. I've used this one over and over again. And this right here, I could, if I wanted, glimmer down here. You can also glimmer on the inside of your card with these sentiments. This I haven't used, maybe once or twice. Here is where I always go for the fun, because it has a coordinating die. I love sentiments with a coordinating die, because then I get to cut like 2 more layers and pop it up and have fun with it. It's easier for me to work with it and quicker. Okay, crafters, so in summary, with the Merry Moments Mega Card Making Kit, I made 5 cards. Some cards featured the add-on, and then I also brought in the pattern paper, which I think is beautiful. Look at all the variety too, from just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sheets out of the whole 40 sheets of it. There's 20 patterns in here, so have fun with it. And then some of them have foil on them too, like this one. So pretty. These little snowflakes, if you love a good sticker, that's a fabulous one. This bow, thumbs up, 2 thumbs up for this bow. This is an all year round winner too, because you can use this on birthday cards. Let's have a sidebar right here. You could have like a small little note card here, and then with this space, put happy birthday or the person's name. You could have these as little place markers. Look how beautiful that is. It has enough width and enough height, but enough space for you to put anything in there. You could just put the poinsettia and then have them as little note cards. Then you can bring it out to the A2 and work with 2 of them, 1 of them, 4 of them. This bow is fabulous. Another bow winner. Love, love, love. Alrighty, crafters. Everything will be detailed and linked below. Thanks so much for watching. Come back to my channel, because I still need to make a 12 by 12 with this. I want to squeeze it in somewhere, because I do have Winnie the Pooh, but then the new Winnie the Pooh is a birthday theme, but then maybe I can use the bow. I'll see. Okay, crafters, until the next video, stay crafty, my friends.